Hello everybody, this is Callie with Jemminz. Welcome back to my channel. And tonight, because I'm filming this a little bit later, sorry, I was looking down trying to get my thing started. We are going to make a seaweed powdered salt scrub. And we're going to use some seaweed, our Dead Sea salt, fine granules, and lye water. And we're going to make it into these little molds. And if you want to pick these molds up, they're available on Amazon. I'll see if I can connect a link down below. And this is how our seaweed Dead Sea salt scrubs are going to be made. I have had so many requests for these that I decided that I'm just going to go ahead and make them. And we're going to do a hot, well, not really a hot process, but a lye water mixture. In other words, it's kind of a hot cold process. In other words, what we do is we will put all of our oils and butters together, and then we will mix the lye water in and we'll melt them as we go along, and then we will add everything else also too. So it's kind of like a dump and go, which is the way I like to do that with these, because they do, there's no sense to really separate them out. It's just whether or not I can get everything to melt at the same time. So let me turn the water down, or turn this down to you guys so you can see what we're doing here. Turn down just a little bit. All right, so we're going to use a big bucket, which I have right here. We are going to mix our stuff up. I'm going to attach, you can't see it, but I'm attaching my blender here. We've got it all ready to go. And I'm going to move my mold out of the way for a moment so we can get to work here. That will be, and we're going to do everything in this pot, and then we'll do this big pot, and then we'll mix the lye water in here in a second, because you want to do the lye water at the last. So we're going to zero this out. I'll give you the recipe. This is the recipe that is available online. This is just a really simple recipe that I use. This fills 392 there are enough grams. So I'll try and read this as I go along so you guys can you can use this. It's very easy. So we're going to pour in 78 grams of, and notice we're going to put all this together. So 78 grams, I'm going to stand up to do this, 78 grams of castor oil, and you have to pour this in really slow because it'll go pretty quick if you're not careful. So 78 grams, pour that a little bit faster, of castor oil. Why castor oil? Castor oil is really good for making bubbles. And I need 78. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Why am I using grams? Grams in this recipe works best. Oops, just a little bit over. If it's a little bit over, it's okay. You just don't want to go too far over. And then olive oil is 39 grams. So we're going to tear that out to 0. And we're going to go 39 grams. We'll go 38 grams. I'll just drop a gram. It doesn't really matter if you're off a gram or two. If you go a little over, then that's not good. Okay, so 30, we'll go with 38 on this one to compensate for volume. Six, 7, and 8. There it goes. 38. So 38 grams of olive oil. And because this is just a scrub, I don't add any of my real butters except for coconut oil. So we'll add coconut oil in here. Coconut oil melts really fast, so it's really good for putting in our soaps. And we are going to add out of my big bucket. You can't see my big bucket down below here, but it's huge. We are going to now add 157 grams. Now, since I've added my other oils in here, I have to be careful here because I don't really want to go over on my coconut oil. So I'm just going to add it in just a little bit, because you can really go over really fast on this. That should be fine. 30, 57, I need just a little bit more. So now when I get to a larger amount, I drop back down to putting in smaller chunks. Okay, 157. And yes, my hands are clean. I washed my hands before we came in here. That's why I'm not wearing gloves. I forgot to put them on. Okay, so this is 49. Need to go to 57, 55. See, that's why we go just a little bit there. Let's see if we can just add that little bit. 54, 56, 57. Okay, there's 157 grams of coconut oil, and now we're going to add 118 of palm oil. I'll just bring this up here, make it easier for me. And let me tear that out to 0. Maybe. There we go. And this is going to go to 118. And I like using the coconut oil and these because they're so soft. The butters are so soft and easy to use. And they have a low melting point, so they'll melt fairly quickly. 62. 118. This, now see, 119. There it goes, 118. What I love about this sustainable palm oil is it works really well in these types of situations. And since we want a strong cleansing soap, that is the reason why I'm not using the butters. All right, so let's do our lye water. Our lye water is really simple to make. The lye water is 115 grams. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. 115. Of water, and then we go down to 57 lye water, but I'm going to back the lye just off just a little bit. Oh, I'm not sure why that happened. Okay, so just a little bit. So we're going 57 grams of lye water. Why am I going slow? I don't want this to bounce up in my face. $46. I'll go 56. I'm going to back off on the lye water just a little bit. All right, so there we go. And so now we're going to mix this up really good and then get it in there so we can start melting. My spoon is not in here. All right. This is a silicone so it doesn't melt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pour that right in here as soon as I get that melted. Careful of the fumes, they are really strong. Now. And as you can see, the heat from this is melting this right away. And we're going to mix this up really, really good. We're not going to add salt or anything to this yet. We want to melt this all the way down. cooled down really fast. Okay, this may not work, but we'll see what happens. It's still really hot. It's melting. Now, when you're doing this process, I've found that when you have more of the butters than the oils, they don't. It stays a little bit on the cloudy side. That's completely okay. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah, it's warming up. Oh, something's in there. Pull that out. Okay. This can take a little bit to melt. Is it still hot? Yeah, it's still really hot, so it's melting. It melted everything else really fast. It's just these big chunks. What I always recommend is when you have stuff like this is to make sure you break it down into smaller chunks. It makes it much easier to melt down, because that's pretty much what you want. Now these bars I do let sit for about a week before I release them, only so they can go through the final saponification, because in doing this it can take a little bit longer, I found. It hardens up fairly quickly. It's just goes through the saponification. I'll get that out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to resist and break these up gently. See if there's any more chunks. And all I'm doing is breaking up the chunks in here. Alright, as you can see, that's pretty good. I don't see any more white chunks, so that's good. And this just speeds the process up a little bit faster. And as you can see, I didn't have to go and let this sit for several hours, because it can take 4 to 5 hours for this to cool down. And it's still nice and smooth. Just pop that over there in my other bin. It looks like a thin vanilla pudding, and that's what you want. This is exactly what you want. All right, so now we're going to put in the seaweed. And I do like to add quite a bit of seaweed in here, so... And we're just doing the seaweed. It actually helps your skin and other properties. The Dead Sea salt is actually for a scrub, so we're definitely going to make sure we do that. Well, I don't have my other. I use an ultra fine, and I'm going to put 3 in here. And now we're just going to mix all this in. I may have to add some more salt to it. Ah, that seaweed smells so good. I like seaweed. My husband and I go down to the beach all the time, and we're constantly fishing. I'm going to add just a little bit more here. I like to be generous with my salt in my soaps. You can also add Epsom salts or anything bigger. It all works. All right, that's ready to pour. That's the consistency you want, something that's easy and pourable. I'm just going to clean up my thing here, move this out of the way, put this, cover my salt. I'll cover my seaweed in a minute because I really want to get this down in here. And these will sit for about 24 hours, and then I'll pop them out. And that is our seaweed scrub. Careful not to overfill like I did just like that. If you give me a second, I will go back over that recipe again. I might have a little extra here. Okay, it's a little bit hard to pour, so. All right, there you go. And I don't like to waste, so I make sure I scrape everything out of here. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. I kind of pulled it up a little bit so I can reach it. There we go. All right. I think that's good enough. I don't think I can get any more out of there. And we'll pour that in there. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just gently shake this down. Each one. Even though these are round, sometimes I can have a hard time going down in there. So I'm going to make everything settled in there. And tomorrow we will pull these up and we will see what they are. I'm not going to clean up the mess. It's okay. It's on a board here, so it doesn't matter. And there you have it. There is our sea salt scrub. Now I can't pick this up to show you, but there you have it. So let me go over that recipe one more time. The volume of this type of mold, you can get it on Amazon. I think I paid like $8 for it. It wasn't that expensive, but you can get them in 2 and 3s if you want to make more of these. And the recipe is, get out a pen and pencil if you want. Now these are all unscented. So the fragrance oil and the essential oil are the same in this. I've made these many times, and it's 13 grams of that. That is going to be the last thing you add when you do this recipe. So you do the recipe and then you add your essential oil, you take your whisk and you whisk it around and then you do it. So you have castor oil at 78 grams, olive oil at 39 grams, coconut oil at 157 grams, and sustainable palm oil at 118 grams. Now, you can add shea butter easily into this recipe to substitute for the palm oil. You might have to go on to soapcalc.com to do a little bit of a variation, but that's generally the volume that you would need to round this out if you wanted to use shea butter instead of the palm oil, or add more coconut oil and take away the palm oil. It works either way. I've made it both ways, so it works. And then your water weight, your water is 115 grams and your lye water is 57 grams. You want to mix that last, and remember to always put your lye water into the water, or your lye into water, not the other way around, or you will have a mess on your counter. And as you can see, these were really easy to make. So there you have it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. These are really easy to make, and I'm more than happy to share this recipe with you. There's a lot of variations you can do with this recipe. You can add color to it. You can add fragrance to it. I will be making some men's soaps with this recipe, exactly the way we just did it, and adding fragrance oil for my men. I had a lot of men ask me about it. Do you have this a scrubbing soap bar? And I said I have one coming out. I tried to make it prior to the end of our season last year, but I ran out of time for the season, because our season ended I think a little bit earlier than normal, so I wasn't able to do it. But you can add all natural ingredients like I just did. This is an all natural bar. There's nothing artificial in it. There's no fragrance. There's no titanium dioxide. There's nothing artificial in this at all. I use seaweed for not only coloring but good skin benefits. You can add clays to it. You can do a clay scrubbing bar easily and add in either pink kaolin clay or kaolin clay itself, or any other clay you want. I think there's bentonite and there's a couple others that you can use. Those are perfectly fine instead of the seaweed, or you can do a combination of both. If you really, really wanted to, you can put the flowers on the bottom of this, and then when you flip it over, the flowers will be on the top. I didn't do that today because I've had a lot of requests for people, they just wanted a seaweed scrub bar, so that's what we're going to do here. And I will make a demo of another type of a bar for you guys in the salt scrub, because I have a lot of women that are asking for it too. So we're going to make a couple variations of our more popular scents and then do that, especially our new scent that we just brought out. If you haven't watched that video, go do it. I just uploaded it, so we'll have, or if it's not up, I will be uploading it at the time of this viewing. So and then just to reiterate, go out and have some fun with these bars. They're very easy. This is a basic recipe that you can adapt, but make sure you go onto soap.com if you do any other variations on it, especially if you're going to substitute the palm oil for more moisturizing ingredients such as cocoa butter or shea butter or cocoa butter or mango butter or any other butter. If you're going to use fat or lard, then you definitely want to go on to soapcalc.com and do that. You might be able to just go one-to-one with the recipe here and just change out a couple things. In other words, but I will say this, leave the castor oil in there and leave the olive oil in there, and then you can change up the palm oil into whatever you want, and then lessen the coconut oil if you want to add more of the other ingredients. But that has to be done on soapcalc.com, so make sure you go there to do that. So anyway, there you go. Our salt scrubs are done. At least recipe number 1. This is one in a series of brand new soaps we'll be bringing out this year. I hope to bring out a whole bunch more for my shows and online. Now, just a reminder, Jemminz.com, and I'll talk about this later, is no longer a link. I am now on Etsy. I have switched everything over to Etsy. Basically my website got stolen, and so we are in the process of rebuilding that website. Don't ask me how it did. I'm not happy about it. It's a long story, but yeah, I had somebody steal my website, and I have tried to contact authorities and I cannot get it back. I've already tried. So there it is. Somebody stole the website, the name, and my .com, my Jemminz.com is gone now. So we've gone to another Jemminz.top, Jemminz.top, but it's not active right now. The website's not completely up. It goes, oh, actually I take that back. It is up. I forgot I got it done yesterday. Duh, one of those things. So Jemminz.top, T-O-P. And it will link to my news store. I forgot about that, but unfortunately these soaps will not be on there, but I have other things on there that will link up. I've got some t-shirts and sweatshirts, and I'll have some wine glasses and some other really, really cool inspirational things, and I will talk about that in another video, but go check that out. But you will find these soaps on Etsy, as well as all of our brand new stuff is coming up on Etsy. So definitely check that out. And enjoy your guys' evening. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification button so you can be notified of all of our videos we're doing this year. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Bye.